Welcome in Braves Country. We are happy to have you over here at the Pennant Grace. The Pennant Grace is always brought to you by Roback. A code PG20 gets you how many percentage off?
That would be
how much percentage?
20%.
20%
on that
off.
Roback. Look at that beautiful
awesome
Rhodesian Ridgeback there. Roback, the only way to go. If you are traveling in high style, you got to be in Roback. PG20, 20%. I love it.
We have an exciting show for you guys today.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about. The Braves are continuing to win. And like we say, it's fun when we win games.
It is.
And we get to chat about it. We're going to talk about the Yankees. We're going to preview the Cardinals. We have some trade options. I don't want to call them rumors yet because they're just kind of being workshopped right now. The trade deadline is coming up. We're at almost the midpoint of the season. Believe it or not, we're going to talk about that. Talk about also the Comcast Bally Sports. We really haven't mentioned that in a while. A great article we posted this weekend to kind of refresh you on that. And we're going to break that down a little bit. So I'm excited. We had busy weekends.
Yeah.
You were at the beach.
I was. Yeah, we were at Seacrest Beach, left on Wednesday, as you saw from my attire on Thursday's show. And got back yesterday. So always great to be at the beach. It was very sunny and warm and crowded.
I know. We love 30A. Let us know what your favorite beaching spots are. But 30A for us, I feel like, has been the destination for my entire life.
Yeah, and I'm starting to kind of think of, I'm looking for water areas now that are less populated.
Yeah.
Just so you'd have room, and you'd have to, you would be 7-8 deep
on the beach.
Where we were, and really hard to find a spot, and we would be getting there at, some days as early as 8:30, and standing there at the steps as you look out and trying to find your
umbrellas.
spot. Talk to some people. And talked to a guy who said, well, I got here and claimed my spot at 6.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
So
if you're not on a private beach, you have to get there around that time.
Yeah.
And even then, you run the risk of your spot's going to get taken by someone coming down.
We accept private beach invitations.
Oh,
Both
yeah,
of us
we do. We do.
Yeah, if you have one of those.
So I had a fun weekend. Thank you for asking.
I was about to get to that. Yeah.
Lots of pool days, but I guess it was Thursday night. I got to attend Rickwood in our honor while you were at the beach. I was down there. It was incredible.
Yeah, so I was watching this on TV, and I think we're all, any of us that are in the Birmingham area, we're very proud of Birmingham and how it was showcased in that game, and the way it played off on TV was incredible. I can't imagine what it was like in there other than the temperature. Where does this go for you as far as live sporting events you've been to? Because this is a special one.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be on the list of some of the coolest things I'll ever attend in person. And there was such a small crowd. And I'm sure that translated if you guys were watching or if you were there. Let us know if any of our listeners were at the event. But it was so cool because you literally had Derek Jeter just walking on the concourse.
Yeah, so Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, Derek Jeter,
the governor,
Reggie Jackson,
Kay Ivey.
So there are a lot of people out, and it was just cool and special and got a great rating.
Yeah.
If you saw that, and some talk that's generated afterwards, including here from our friends at the next round to say, why not make this like the Rickwood Classic and annual tradition? I
think that would be an awesome idea, and you get different teams that can come in there, and it gives people an opportunity to see teams maybe they haven't seen. For me, I don't think I'd ever seen the Giants play, so I had seen St. Louis, and we'll talk about St. Louis coming up because that's the Braves' next series after the series. No, they're here already. Yes. We're actually playing the Cardinals today.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a series we're in. And so that was cool to see. And I think that the venue itself lends itself to be an area that you can have people come out, and the outside of it was awesome. They had the tent set up, different vendors, they had live music. So I would be a fan of that because it was just a different perspective on the history of baseball as a whole. And being there, and I think I'm just going to go back to how small that area was, but how well they did to expand the field out. They expanded out 10 feet and then moved to the left 4 feet. So that's incredible. All that to say, I'm a fan of the Rickwood Classic coming to Birmingham. I think it'd be awesome. Hopefully next year we can both attend if that is in the cards. But overall, really cool experience. Glad you had a good beach trip.
Yeah, the timing again on the Rickwood thing with the passing of Willie Mays.
Of course.
With the Negro League records now being put into Major League Baseball records as well. That all tied in together. All sports and history plays a big deal in all sports, but I don't think any more so than in baseball. And I think it's just a great opportunity for Major League Baseball to highlight the nation's oldest ballpark and so many of the greats that played there, honoring Negro Leagues, honoring people like Willie Mays. So I think it's a big win for baseball. Obviously, it's a big win for Birmingham.
I think the TV production, from what I've heard, was incredible. They did like the black and white fifth inning, had like the distorted voices.
It was great, and it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
And that helped too.
All right, well, you know what also is fun to watch? The Atlanta Braves.
Yes,
Woohoo!
they are. Yes, they are.
We have not mentioned the PG panic button in like 4 episodes.
I know.
That's pretty good.
Well, it's, to win a series, to take 2 of 3 against an elite team, and the New York Yankees, I believe at this point, are second best record in baseball. So you go there and take 2 of 3 out of them. That is reason to celebrate.
I agree. So for me, the Yankees series, what it did, it has not solidified for me that the Braves are back. However, it confirmed suspicions that were already there.
Okay.
It was a great kind of boost in that direction. And our PG postscript question for you guys to go ahead and start thinking about is, if the Braves win the series against the Cardinals, can we say officially that the Atlanta Braves are back? So think on that. Let us know in the comments. But for me, this is a trend in the right direction. So 3-1 series win, and that was actually the first series win in the Bronx since 2012.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That? It really is.
That's over 10 years. That's over 10 years.
Yeah,
wow.
I thought it was really cool to see Chris Sale to come in and pitch in a park he's so familiar with from his days in Boston, and to do so well. It was really encouraging. There were a lot of encouraging things in the series, a continuation of what we had been building towards at home, to see that continued on the road. A lot to be happy about, a lot of things that are trending well that you want to see. And the team finds itself in a good spot, 43-32 right now. That's 7 games back from the Phillies. Who has a better record than Atlanta in Major League Baseball? The 6 teams, the Phillies, Brewers, and Dodgers in the National League. Those are all division leaders. And then the Yankees, Orioles, and Guardians.
The Guardians?
Yeah, so these are teams all teams that the Braves have or will play this season, all in that list. And so those are the only teams with a better record than Atlanta. Over the last 10, Atlanta's 8-2. If you compare that to division foes, 5-5 for the Phillies.
Wow.
So not like they've fallen apart by any means. They're playing .500 ball in their last 10. By the way, the New York Mets 8-2 in their last 10. The West has been in flux too. We're going to have Reed Taylor on soon, El Presidente, Duke of Denham, and we'll ask him about that NL West. But we've seen a lot of up and down. I talked about the Padres. Now they're down. Now they're back up in second place. Hard to keep up with that division for sure. But Atlanta is definitely playing its best ball overall than as it has all season. Good friend of the show, Travis Millsaps, noted Phillies fan, says that in his prediction, it won't be much longer before the Braves will overtake the Phillies in the standings for a little while, and he thinks it'll be a little back and forth between those teams, and that would not surprise me, honestly.
And there's also 10 games between the Braves and the Phillies that have to be played. Right. So that's going to play a huge role in that. And right now, for me personally, this 7 games behind, I don't mind it.
I don't either.
I don't, I obviously want to keep gaining ground on them, but I like creating this momentum. I don't want to say quietly, but with still some separation between us and the Phillies to not make them sweat too much yet.
Right.
I would like to see that gap shorten as we enter the series with them. Yeah. And we take the lead over them by playing them. That would be incredible. But I think that the Braves are in a good spot right now. I think that we're seeing some things come together. Pitching has always been consistent, but 2 things of note for me in the Yankees was Chris Sale. I think it was against the A's on June 1st. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but he gave up, 8 runs? Yeah. Something not good. In his last 3 starts, he has given up 5 runs combined.
Yeah, it's been great.
So that's awesome. That is a bright spot for me. Max Fried on Sunday, the key moment was when Alex Verdugo grounded out onto a double play.
Absolutely. That was the biggest play of the game.
Yeah. And I think I liked seeing Max recover from that. I think they had just scored 1 run and runners on first and third on the corners.
I think that's right.
And to me, that is great composure to get out of that, get the double play, because, in that situation, a lot of things can happen. So for me, those were 2 pretty big pitching notes, if you will. I do think that there has been such strength there that this isn't really surprising. We'll talk about who the pitching rotation is going into today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, as well as Thursday. But overall, I was very, very happy, specifically with Max Fried.
Yeah, and to go back to what you said about the Phillies, to go back and forth like that, I have a hard time believing these teams, when they do start playing one another, aren't going to be in somewhat similar spots in terms of positions of strength. That is going to be amped up. Those series are going to be out of this world. But right now, it's hard to imagine the National League with the Braves not getting a playoff spot. The team that they're about to play is definitely one of those that's going to be in contention, I believe, for that other wild card spot,
Yep.
in the St. Louis Cardinals. So talking a little bit, you mentioned the pitching and how well it's been. I think both of us are at a spot now where we're feeling really good about our starting rotation.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of our players, what they're doing offensively, as we have been playing better, but obviously still nowhere near that pace of last year. So Austin Riley's got his average up to 247. He's got 29 RBIs and 7 home runs. Ozzie Albies is really about where he normally is. He's batting 262, 38 RBIs, 6 home runs so far.
I love that because we said it last Thursday. Who was your standout player?
Yeah.
Ozzie. Y'all, he is being so consistent.
He has been.
And that is something besides Marcel we have not seen.
Yeah, so he is playing at his what we expect from him, which has been good to see.
We're not hearing a lot of that. So I will keep cheering on Ozzie Albies because this time of the year, his consistency, bringing in runs, huge.
Matt Olson batting 246. He's got 40 RBIs and 12 home runs. I'll give you some good and bad. You want good or bad first?
Give me the bad first.
Okay, I'll give you the bad first. Adam Duvall.
Ugh.
He's got 18 RBIs. He's got 6 home runs, but he's still batting 170. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Now we'll go to the good.
Okay.
A 216 career hitter who's now batting 270, and that's your leadoff man and mine, Jared Kelenic.
Round of applause.
21
for Jared
RBIs,
Kelenic.
7 home runs. I am absolutely loving Kelenic in the leadoff spot. He knows the role. He embraces the role, getting on base and being driven in, and he has some power that he's shown as well. The best case scenario for Jared Kelenic coming in, a guy who had tremendous promise and pressure, is, look, if this guy can come in and be a good glove in left field and just,
meet expectations a little bit?
He's batting at the end of the order, so if he can just kind of be maybe a little bit better than what he was, then it'll be no problems. Well, he's exceeding all of those things, and I think he's been a great fit, and I think Braves country is embracing Jared Kelenic.
I agree, and I think one thing for me that as I've seen him develop into that spot, he's on the TV below us right now.
Hey, there you go.
Anyways, if you guys don't know, we have a wall of TVs right here.
Yeah.
Got Stanley Cup going on, Stephen A. Smith, we're on that corner,
right,
and then some MLB Network. All that to say, Kelenic has really stepped into that role, and we've seen his improvement, which I like to see.
Right.
10-game hitting streak, hopefully 11 tonight. So he is 11 for 34 with 2 doubles and 3 home runs in that leadoff spot. And it's just encouraging. And Willie says Riley is the key to the offense when Acuna is down. He's gotten going, and the runs have come with it.
I think that's a really good point.
But I also think, though, that Kelenic in that leadoff spot is also contributing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Austin Riley, 100%. But I do think that the combination of Riley starting to get hot, Kelenic finding his groove at that leadoff spot, good things are happening, and the home runs are also starting to come.
You're playing without Ronald Acuna Jr. You're playing without Michael Harris II, and what you're doing right now is a testament to the depth and the moves that have been made by the front office, the group of guys that are in there.
Yeah.
You do have a good team in St. Louis, a team that's playing really good right now. So the Cardinals are 39 and 37, so just above 500. They're 5 games back of the Milwaukee Brewers, but in their last 10, they're 7 and 3. They're playing
they're hot
well
right now. And we actually got to see them play on Thursday, so that was pretty cool. They ended up going on to sweep the Giants. But before we leave off from the Yankees, I want to get y'all's opinion on what a Yankees announcer said about the Braves, and if you guys agree.
Okay.
So Yankees announcer Michael Kay described the Braves offense as mid. So initial thoughts.
In context, that's hard to see in terms of they obviously have underperformed this year. No, I disagree with that assessment because I think you could say that they have not reached their potential. I don't think you could say they're mid.
I went back and forth on this, and I looked at lots of the Twitter replies, and this stat stuck out. The Braves are tied for the most home runs in baseball since June 13th with 18. So for the season, I do think that the Braves have not been playing up to their potential. I think there's been a little bit of a slump. But I don't think you can say that during that series.
But having high-performing guys who are struggling is different than mid.
Right.
Mid is mid. Mid is having guys that are basically doing what they do. And so I think that as we get through and continue through this season, when we're having conversations this time a month from now, let's see where those guys that I just mentioned, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Jared Kelenic, Adam Duvall, let's see where those guys are. I don't expect it to be mid.
I don't either. And Michael Kay is awesome. Nothing against him. I just think it's interesting. Braves fans, what is your take on that? I do think that, like we just said, season-wise, it has been up to expectations, but June specifically, and what did we say? That June is usually a time where the Braves heat up.
That's right.
They love the month of June.
They do.
So we're seeing that. Again, this is so funny. We keep seeing little highlights and snippets of the Braves down here, and they just showed Olson and Riley with the new hot dog at Truist. Have you heard about this?
I have, yeah.
I haven't heard much about it.
Yeah, I saw a whole breakdown of what the hot dog is and all the things. So,
we need to have a Pennant Grace listener go out and try that.
We do, yeah. I need to try that. Yeah.
Speaking of that, real quick, giveaway, guys.
Yeah.
We have a giveaway taking place. You can go try the hot dog.
Absolutely.
And report back to us on July 4th.
On the 4th of July.
I mean, what is more American than that? There isn't anything. So very simple to enter the giveaway. We're going to extend it until Wednesday.
Okay.
So that gives you 3 more days counting today. And we'll announce it on Thursday's live show. Please go enter it. We are literally giving away 2 free tickets to the 4th of July game in Atlanta. It's incredible. You don't want to miss it. It's against the Giants. So section 109, row 4, you can't beat it. Go to our Twitter. All you have to do is retweet it and make sure the friend that you tag is following us along with yourself. Yeah. So easy.
Great stuff. I love it. Thanks to Ward for providing that, friend of the show. And some lucky viewer coming away with that. Going to have a really special 4th of July. Your favorite holiday.
Yes, it is my favorite holiday. Oh, I love it. All right, let's move on to St. Louis, the preview. So 3-game series in St. Louis starting today. The special is on the mound tonight.
Yeah, really interested to see how he does. Can he continue the momentum? And so it was a question of, can we get a good start or 2 out of this guy? And now it's a question of, okay, how consistent can he be? Can he continue the momentum? Is this someone that could be a permanent solution for the season in that 5th rotation? I agree. I think this will be his 5th start of the season. Awesome there. Tomorrow we'll have Lopez, and then Wednesday we'll have Sale on the mound. Yeah. And one thing to note, we could see AJ Minter back. Yes. He could be in St. Louis. We don't know if we'll do another rehab assignment, but there is a chance that we'll have AJ Minter back. I tend to think it'll be the next series after this, but there is a possibility for sure.
Quick note on the special. That's Spencer Schwellenbach. If you missed last episode, that is what we're going to refer to him as for right now. But we talked about Travis d'Arnaud and how he is just awesome. You would love to see him behind the plate if you were on the mound. And this is what he had to say about Schwellenbach. He said, it's incredible. The adjustments he's made and just how fast he's made the adjustments and are really impressive, especially with all of his pitches. It's impressive to see how comfortable he is with his changeup when in the minors, it wasn't really one of his best pitches. We all know about his slider and heater. His heater command is so good, and he's able to put it in all four quadrants at 95 to 98. Now his curveball is coming along. You can basically call whatever you want, and you can have confidence he'll put it wherever you want it. Wow.
Incredibly encouraging to hear when you have when you know your stuff is as good as his is. The most important thing I would think would be adjustments, and to hear someone like Travis d'Arnaud speak so highly of that is a really positive thing. I'm
excited to see him. One thing about Schwellenbach that I did not realize, and maybe I did, I just don't really ever consider it, he has had Tommy John. So that's something to keep in mind. Health-wise, hopefully he stays healthy. Don't want to really linger there very long.
Oh, well, we just host a Brave show. I think both of us have had Tommy Johns at this point, haven't we?
Seriously.
I mean, just from hosting a baseball show, everyone's getting Tommy Johns.
Down to now. But yeah, I'm excited for this series. It should be good. And that kind of leads us, we'll do our PG postscript now, because we're talking about the Cardinals. And Goose says he doesn't want to make any definitive statements because it can mess up the good juju that we have going.
I'm with you, Goose. I'm with you, buddy.
But that is the question of the day is, do you feel comfortable confirming that we are trending in the right direction confirmed? We'll word it like that. If the Braves sweep or take the series from the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are a good team. If you beat them, that certainly, if you take the series there, it certainly does help your case coming off of the big series in New York. To me, they are. I just gave you 6 teams that have a better record, and, those are fairly close to what that is. And so as long as the Braves are in that company there, then I feel good. I would really like to get into that maybe top 5 record-wise.
And then you can say, okay.
It just depends on what your standard is. And for Atlanta in this run, and I'm when I say this run, I mean Atlanta 2018 on. Okay. How do you judge success? So you've had a championship in that. I'm not one of those that it's championship or bust to judge success by, but Atlanta has, been in that top, 4 teams record-wise. And so back, no. Competitive, yes. In the mix, yes. And so I want to get maybe a little further, couple weeks into July before I decide.
I agree. I think that you could definitely say trend-wise in the right direction. And I feel like we can all agree on this, perhaps. It feels a lot better.
Yeah.
The temperature-wise, it just feels like we are in familiar territory.
That's right. Won't
say we're back, but I do think that we can confirm further, just like what the Yankees did for me, that we're in the right direction. It's feeling better. And I think this time in a month, if we're still in this position, we can confidently say that.
There you go.
But we won't jinx anything. Today for the Cardinals on the mound is Lance Lynn. Quick note about him. This could be a great game to take the first win of the series with, because his last game he allowed a season high of 5 earned runs in 5.5 innings against Miami.
Okay.
So quick little pitching note there. I would like to see to take game 1 in St. Louis. That would be huge. But also, if we can't, get the next 2. But I do want to see a series win.
There you go.
Absolutely. Let's move into some trade rumors, guys. And again, I hesitate to say rumors because I feel like they're just some combinations that
there's 2 kinds of rumors. There's rumors, and then there's rumors with a Z. Ooh. That means they're extra, just rumory.
Oh, okay. Is that a making of that? You just made that up?
I did. Okay. Yeah. Also, very good Fleetwood Mac album. I saw Rockstar and Black Jacket Symphony perform that album in its entirety.
Wow.
So yeah, let's talk rumors.
I don't think these are rumors with a Z. I can't wait to give you guys some
I don't
rumors
think they are
with
either.
a Z. These are just some speculations. So what do we often talk about when we talk about the trade market? Let's see if you can read my mind.
Starting pitching.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. So last week against the Detroit Lions, we saw Tarek Skubal, and he was really good, apparently, before he faced us, and he is really good. So for the Braves to acquire him, to add to the starting pitching, this would be a combination that would have to be done. Smith-Shawver, Nacho Alvarez, Drake Baldwin, and Dylan Dodd in exchange for him. I have to agree. I do not see a world in which that happens.
That's a big no.
And this, again, let me clarify. These are just combinations of what could happen. There's no stock in this. This is from Fansided, and they do a great job of putting up some combinations.
I'm not giving up AJ Smith-Shawver.
And I'm not giving up Nacho Alvarez.
Yeah.
I'm not. And we'll talk about him in a little bit. But that just seems really outlandish to me. And starting pitching, I don't think we need it that badly.
Yeah.
You guys can hold me to that in a couple of months, but as of right now, I don't think so.
So I got this one, you and I, for on Nacho Alvarez, who's shortstop in Gwinnett.
Yep.
This was from a friend of the show, at 365 Roll Tide. And he posted this from Bean Eater Buzz, who said, it's time to start having a real conversation about Nacho Alvarez Jr. playing shortstop for the Braves soon. He is crushing AAA pitching. Orlando Arcia has been very, very bad. There are about 5 weeks until the trade deadline, and the Braves need to see if Nacho could come up and give the team a boost before they need to decide what to do at the deadline. So went into that a little bit. What is Nacho doing and what is Orlando doing? So Nacho in minor league baseball in AAA is batting .289. He's got a .392 on base percentage. OPS is at .777. 25 RBIs and 3 home runs. Orlando Arcia, beloved Orlando Arcia, who had such a great year last year. He's a career .244 hitter. Now, last year, which was his best season, he batted .264. .213 right now. Okay, so last year he was .264. His OPS was .741. He had an on-base percentage of .321. That was a bit of an outlier. It was his best season. But even a career average, he's not even close to that right now. And when I got the question and I started looking into it, I got to admit to you, I was a little surprised his batting average was that low. And I knew it wasn't great.
Right, but
I knew it was low, but I didn't think it was .213 low.
I think I'm going to agree with Scott Forrester in the chat room. Proven commodity over a prospect. I'm going to agree with that. I don't think that you start messing things up, and I don't say messing things up, but I don't think it'd be very smart when Arcia is proven. He's in a slump right now. That's sticky to me.
If Jared Kelenic continues to do what he's doing at leadoff, Marcelo Zuna does anywhere close to what he's doing, and if we see the continued improvement of Riley and Olsen, along with the consistency you talked about in Ozzie, we don't need Orlando to be. Now, obviously, 213 is you're going to be concerned about.
But defensively, though, I would rather have Arcia.
Yeah, I would be interested to see what the defensive stats for Nacho
I don't know. I don't know what they are. But
yeah, and that's he's doing well. Those are very good AAA stats. They're not blow you out of the water AAA stats, but they're very good.
He was called up 2 weeks ago to Gwinnett, and so to me, this feels like he is rising to the occasion. But long term, I don't know if he can maintain that. But I don't think that even from a clubhouse perspective, to have Nacho Alvarez in that position, I just don't really know how beneficial that would be. And I agree wholeheartedly with you that as other pieces and components start to heat up and, stay consistent, things like that, I don't need that out of Arcia.
Yeah.
I need his glove, though.
Yeah.
I need him defensively. And I think what he adds to the clubhouse and to the dugout during games, that's why I would not encourage or support like they need my support.
So that's another part of the chemistry part, right? And
yeah.
How important is he to that? He seems pretty important to it. I don't think he's someone that is, teammates want to see be sitting down. I don't see it happening. I do think it's a really good question. I think I'm glad 365 Roll Tide.
Yes.
Appreciate him bringing that up because it makes for good discussion.
And we love when you guys do that. If there's a tweet that you guys see, if there's something that you want us to break down, get our opinions on, let us know. I think every single time someone has asked us, we have gotten to it. So we will definitely talk about it on the show. And I know that trade rumors / combinations have been priority for a lot of people, which makes sense. So we'll continue to give you guys a little bit of that. But I don't know, Bama 365, it just, I don't know. And Willie says Orlando's a huge part of the Ozzie Azuna Ronald group.
Yeah.
So I don't think Nacho can add to that aspect. Yeah. But something to think about.
Right.
I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. We went a little long.
A couple of things real quick.
Okay.
One on Comcast. Just if you haven't read that, be sure to read that article. We retweeted that out. Just an update. Obviously, if you're a Comcast customer, you're still not watching them. But it's pretty interesting to kind of read about the regional sports network model and the options going forward. If it exists next year, it being the regional sports network model, we know it won't be called Bally's. It'll have a different name. But what if it doesn't exist? What's the best option for the fan? And all we care about in this situation is what's the best option for us as a fan. Streaming partners and being able, blackout restrictions. One of the things it talks about is blackout restrictions being a thing of the past. That's outdated. That needs to be done away with, right?
I agree.
So we'll see where that goes. But so far, unfortunately, for those Comcast customers, no new news on that. And you had a really good outside the bubble one.
I do.
A Blue Jays infield prospect, Orelvis Martinez.
Yes,
is that right?
We're going to go with that. But before we get to that, Nick reminds me also I had another combination. We're a little all over the place trying to wrap this up, but that's a good thing that we have so much that we can't even wrap it up.
Yeah.
So Nick says, can he play outfield? I do have an outfield option for us. Kyle Tucker, Astros outfielder. So he could be a free agent. It sounds like from what I've gathered, there's been some miscues. I don't want to say miscommunication. Astros are dropping the ball on extending him. Now Tucker's people are saying we don't want to do that anymore. You have wasted too much time. So perhaps if he's going to be a free agent, they might as well get something for him. It could look like this, and I know you're going to hate this.
Okay.
For Kyle Tucker, we would give the Astros the special. Nacho Alvarez.
Hate.
And Darius Vines.
Yeah. Hate.
Yeah, I don't like that one either.
I thought about it. I hate it.
Yeah, those are not either of my combinations. I didn't think would be received well. But again, that is something to be looking for. If we need an outfield, Kyle Tucker could be an option.
We'll see.
I don't know if we're willing to give up all of that. But back to outside of the bubble. So I'm sure you guys have heard about this. Give us your opinions. But 80-game suspension for a fertility pill.
But it contained something on the banned substance list. So the issue really is more about disclosing these things to the team beforehand. And I think from his standpoint, he's like, I don't want them to know I'm having fertility issues. I understand that. But I tell you what, you have got to disclose to the team. Now, if he had disclosed beforehand to the team, would he be suspended? And I say no.
I don't know enough about the ins and outs of substances and what the, penalties are for it. But I do, and it's hard. It's a catch-22 because I'm sure you don't want to disclose to your office, essentially, for them, hey, I'm having fertility issues, and me and I think his girlfriend are trying to get pregnant for almost 2 years. I do think in your industry, you have an obligation to disclose that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the entire team would have to have known that.
No, absolutely not. You keep it discreet. You can still keep it discreet, but I tell you what, communication is key in most any work situation.
Yes.
But in something like that, with the way that with the substances, when the team knows about it, and then he tests positive for this, and they're already aware of that, I don't think we ever hear about this. I don't think that it ever becomes a story at all.
So Goose asks, was it prescribed by a fertility doctor? From what I've read in the article, they went down to the Dominican Republic, and it was done there. So I'm sure there are probably some differences in how that's handled versus in the States versus out of the country. So I don't want to speak too much to that, but as far as I know, it was prescribed.
Yeah.
I hate it for him.
I do too.
I mean, I think that it just overall is not a great situation to be in, because now I'm suspended for 80 games and everyone knows that me and my girlfriend are trying to start a family. But I think you go back to the work model, you do have an obligation. And if he knew that, I guess what I'm confused about is, did he know this, or was it a surprise to him? Was it like that appeared on the test and he's like, oh my goodness, what could that be? Oh, it must be this.
You're right.
And I don't know the answer to that. Chat, if you guys know, let us know. But it's hard. And I feel like there are some different facets to this that you could go into.
Yeah.
What is your overall take on it?
Our friends at the Alabama Men's Clinic, if you want to end your fertility, they can take care of that for you. You won't have any problems with that. But yeah, it's a sensitive subject. I think most people, those in the audience and those here in the room, if you haven't had those issues, you probably know someone that has.
Yeah,
can be a real struggle
it
for
can be.
husband and wife, and so you want to take that into account. But again, just communication is key, and just about everything you do and all your relationships, professional and personal. And I think you communicate that. Think of all the things that we have going for us because we communicate well with one another.
Oh my gosh!
Now I did have, apparently there's some great restaurant I'm supposed to check out that I didn't even know about, because you did not communicate that to me.
I did. I'm pretty sure you're like, I love barbecue.
Yeah.
And you thought it was a barbecue. I don't know. Okay, Perfect Pig in 30A, on 30A.
Yeah.
If you're ever there, this is a shameless plug. It is my favorite restaurant in the world. Get the grouper, Parmesan crusted with the vegetable risotto.
I would have loved that.
I know. It is. I have been getting it since 8th grade. It was when it was a special. It wasn't on the menu full time. And it is incredible. So
too late.
It's too
I'm already
late.
back home.
Are you going back to the beach anytime soon?
I mean, sometime at some point I will, but not this year.
Okay. Well, then next year. Let us know if you guys have any trips planned.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear about them. We can maybe give you some recommendations.
Absolutely. It's summertime. It's travel time. So maybe she'll take care of you better than she did me.
Yeah, hopefully. All that to say, this is a really fun show.
Yeah, it was.
And we got to a lot of things. We'll have our next live show Thursday at 12:15. I'm liking this model of consistency, clear communication to our listeners with what time we'll be here.
And we're on Facebook.
We are.
We will be posting live on Facebook. Your account has to be open for a period of time. I think it's 60 days.
60 days. We started it today.
So
who knew?
It's going to be a little while, but the page is there. And so it's, just search Pennant Grace and you'll see that. And we'll want as many friends on there as possible.
We do.
Just gives another option for viewing. So YouTube, Twitter, and now in 60 days, Facebook.
Yeah, we do have an Instagram account. Follow us there. That's where a lot of our giveaways go.
Yeah, all our social media at the Pennant Grace, so really easy to find.
So, but we love you guys, and we love doing this.
I love you too. Thank you.
Of course. So we love doing this, and we have so much fun with it. So thank you for continuing to support us. Big shout out to Scott Forster, because look how good, I'm going to point over there, that looks.
Yeah.
We have a ticker.
Yeah.
Imagine, do you remember our first episode?
Yeah.
It was not at all like this.
Tickerless.
We have sparkles.
Yeah. Bubbles.
Love the sparkles.
Love them.
Were you calling them bubbles?
They're bubbly. That looks bubbly to me. That's effervescent. Yeah.
Those are sparkles, man.
Okay.
But it's all thanks to Scott
Sparkly
Forster.
bubbles.
Scott Forster is who we have to thank for this.
The man.
And Rocky and Tyler, they help us out with this, and we cannot thank them enough. But we also have to thank our presenting sponsor, Roback.
Yeah. Make sure you use code PG20 when you check out. It's going to save you 20%. I'm rocking the polo today. Fits perfect. Absolutely love these products. You definitely want to check it out. Roback.com, code PG20.
PG20. I'm wearing the tennis skirt today. Girls, I have an athletic dress that they sent me. I will be wearing on the show maybe Thursday. I'll wear that, debut it. So if you need a tennis, pickleball, golf, work, anything, Roback has it. We love to support them. We love their company, and we have to thank them for supporting us. Meet us back here Thursday at 12:15. We're going to chat about the Cardinals. We're going to chat about everything the Braves have in store, and if the Braves are in fact backed. And we'll get our next PG postscripts out for you guys to vote on.
There you
and
go.
We'll come back here and have more fun.
Yeah, make sure you enter the contest if you haven't already. Try to win those tickets. And we'll see you Thursday, 12:15 Central.